And good morning to you, wherever you may be. This is Ramon Scott with the Morning Steam. I want to talk sports betting with you for the next couple of hours. Thanks for joining me here on Tuesday, December 5th, after we saw last night a good game. Thanks a lot, Bengals and Jaguars, for giving us a good one. We weren't expecting much. We got a terrific Monday night football game last night. How'd you guys do with the game? And of course, the much maligned NBA in season tournament. I'll have more commentary on the good games last night in the first quarterfinals. We'll have two more games tonight. We'll talk about the NHL card, and I've selected six college basketball games. I've also put up some of that delicious steam over in the Discord. I've listed it there in the comments. You want to click over there and join our Discord. I put up there's a pretty good college card, and man, the sharps have moved on just about everything early on to move those lines to either create some value for you or make you to put a little bit of a challenge if it's gone against your team. But you got to know, you should know how that line is moved if you're not using the information that I'm giving you. Certainly, you always want to be able to refer to the early line as well, especially in college basketball where you see such wide movement. Hey, thanks for joining me, everyone. I want to say hello to my chat handicappers, and hey, you can get involved with the handicapping here on the show. It's not about me. I'm going to try to give you some winners, promote my premium picks and all that, but it's about our chat and our handicappers. I've come to figure that out pretty quickly here. Uh, Look, we get 50, 60, 75 live viewers or so right now on this show. We used to get a lot more, but things change, and we're building a great audience with a serious show with serious handicappers. You guys in the chat bringing me your picks every day. Thank you so much. We feature them here on the screen, so when you give out your picks, it's seen by the end of the day by as many as 300, 400, 500 views of the show. Not bragging, just want to get you to put your plays in. There are more popular shows out there, I know, but I want to thank you for joining me every day to start your sports betting day with serious sports betting information. We're not going to talk down to you. We're not, look, you guys know more than me, and I don't mean that, to, you know, pump you guys up. I'm just saying, look, maybe I do know the most out of if you put one on one, whatever. Maybe there are a few that know more than me, whatever. But all you got to take is two of you, and it's for sure going to know more than me. So that's what it's all about. We all know a lot, right? I mean, it's kind of like finding the right winner of the point spread. Maybe the differences are minuscule, but when we all put our collective minds together, as a partner of mine used to say, going to come out with some winners. Thank you so much once again. All right. Enough of the salutations and propping you guys up. I want to say hello to you and then get started with the show and a little bit of review preview. Today, I'm all fired up, if you can tell, for a great day. And Brent was here first to open the doors. We can start talking about the recap a little bit, if that's the way we want to go, with Trevor getting injured late in that game. No doubt, look, it's probably going to be a week to week thing here for Lawrence. And, the Jaguars will need Trevor Lawrence after the game last night with the Bengals of the upset of the Jaguars. Yeah, we gave out the under here on the show, but that's okay. We had an entertaining game certainly last night, and for Lawrence, just looks like a sprained ankle, and probably could have it maybe even taped up and ready to go next week. It's just unfortunate that's the way it went down. Yeah, maybe his knee got tweaked a little bit, but doesn't look like the report's going to have any issues with that. That was just, it looked more awkward than it was, but a sprained ankle, we've all been there and done that, haven't we? That's the worst, man. I was talking about it last night. Some of the injuries we saw. Christian Kirk go out with that groin injury. Man, nothing hurts worse than that rip. But the stunning, sprained ankle thing where you think you broke your ankle. We all know that sucks. So he'll get it back, but no doubt they weren't going to cover that spread against the Bengals last night. And Jake Browning, how much money did Jake Browning make last night? You think? You talk about seeing these backup quarterbacks throughout the league and teams without quarterbacks. Anytime you see one of these quarterbacks come up with a huge performance in a nationally televised game, they're going to get a paycheck somewhere down the line. Jake Browning, whether or not he's going to be with the Bengals for very much longer in the future after this. Maybe it was a one-off performance. We've seen some nice things from Browning, and his resume certainly would indicate that he could, be. Maybe he hasn't gotten his fair share, but Washington has been known for some pretty strong passing. You could call Browning a journeyman pretty much at this point, but it might be kind of the peak of his career. And if you come up with a performance like that against a Jaguar team that frankly looked like they didn't know what they were getting into, again, poor coaching. Certainly at this point in that game, almost not expecting. And the Bengals still tried to bungle it in Bungle's style with some of those goofball plays that they were running. But they've tossed in the season. I mean, there's a lot of criticism for that, but they're going to out there go for it, have fun, and that's sometimes a looseness you need against an uptight team like the Jaguars. 10-point favorite. Bad call by me, but certainly that's what happens in professional sports, and I should have saw that one coming, and many of you did in the chat. Congratulations and great job by the Bengals. All right. Salty's here today. Fernando is here today as well. And love that, Salty. Yeah, for sure. And Thomas says, like and smash, get us going here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, the 40,000 subscriber juggernaut. If you don't already, make sure you get our programming updates. Of course, we've got Mindy Hahn, Tiffany Mance, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific with their show today. And Tony comes along at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific with his predictive modeling show sponsored by the Rhythm app. And then at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, it's the Pick Dogs crew with Tony on the drive-through. Panger crushing it yesterday. Gerardo, hello. How we looking today in international football? I'll check out the schedule while you're here. Hello to Joey. Gerardo talking a little puck last night. And how did we do on the ice last night? Well, we went 2-0 with our premium picks last night here. I had for my premium plays Penguins, Flyers, under. It was a big time under in a series that's known for overs, but not last night. It wasn't going to happen last night. We gave out the Flyers here on the show. Also, we had a premium winner with the Blues and the Knights under in the late game. That one did seem that series had been a big time over as well of late, but I didn't feel like it was going anywhere last night, and we score with the under there. We also gave out the Coyotes here on the show. Easy winner, right, Gerardo? And for Montreal, how about that pick yesterday? I went with my Habs over the Kraken. And who else? Blake is here. Doubles is here. We're having good vibrations with Nicholas Handy. And Gerardo, we figured that out, Mindy and I, real quick, who was the star of this show, or any show for that matter. But hey, some people say, hey, you think I talk a lot. If they're not paying to the chat, what are they talking about? I'll have some comments on that maybe here today, even though we should just get to the games. Doubles, well, let's start it off. Let's talk about it. Why don't they open up the portal after the college bowls are done? Wouldn't that make more sense? Here's an interesting thing that people aren't talking about that, well, maybe I'm the only one. I watch a lot of the shows. Happy to get all your NIL money sponsors. Thank you. Let me load my pockets up. I've got $1 million here. I might even have another $1 million here if I'm really good. But you know what? I'm not going to play in the bowl game. You've sponsored me, but now I'm not going to even show up, and I'm going to go off to another team or in the portal or get ready to turn pro. That don't fly. That don't fly. I might want a 10% refund of my NIL money if you're not going to get out there and play in these games. I mean, you're representing us off the field as well, but uh, I'm giving you money to wear my shoes or wear my headphones before the game, and now all of a sudden you're not going to play in these games. I might have a problem with that. So be careful what you wish for, taking that money and then not deciding not to play. Like you're bigger than the game. All these quarterbacks. How about the ones that are taking off early for the NFL? They're just going to be the next, you know, NFL rookie quarterback flop, I would imagine. So, but what I did say is that the bowls are more about next year than they are about this year. The season's over. The season's over, and the bowl games now are about next year, unless you're involved for the title. And Ninja, I don't know if it will. I think we're going to be looking still at always having a built-in implied on the underhead. Nice to see you, Ninja. But definitely was going over last night, and yeah, we were on the under here certainly. And Salty said, "How about those totals last night?" And that's all we've got from you guys. So I'll get ready to go over to Tony'sPicks.com, I guess, unless you've got a few more things we can talk about before we get over there. And uh, you mentioned some of the players that aren't playing so far. Maybe I was alluding to Caleb Williams. Certainly, he's not going to play in the Holiday Bowl. What I mean, this guy, who is it? Who is really going to take a chance? I'm pulling for you, man. I hope you go on to be a great NFL quarterback for some team. But who really, honestly, would take a flyer on some of the guys? Some of these decisions that, like, you're above the game. You're so much better than everybody else. You don't have to play in these. I get it. Okay, go ahead, do you? But somebody's going to play in these games. Imagine being that quarterback, getting the opportunity to step up in a bowl game. Don't overlook the teams. Sometimes let's make sure we look into these. Some of these teams are going to have players that are going to explode. So McCord's going to the transfer portal from Ohio State. Good luck. Good luck to you. We've got plenty of quarterbacks here coming, and they don't really, well, you know what the situation is, Buckeyes fans, right now. We're not too worried about McCord, but uh, also, don't Fleming. That might be a little bit distraction. 71 receptions this year. Dylan Gabriel, pretty great numbers. Uh, Bryson Barnes, Nate Johnson, just some of the guys. So we found out who will be invited to New York for this week. And you got to think right now, you look at these finalists: Bo Nix, Michael Penix, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jaden Daniels, who's going to win the Heisman. Bo Nix seems like the man who could get it, but when did the voting take place? What do the voters think? And who do you like to win if you're into awards this week? And we know our Heisman candidates for this week. So, a lot of hype for Jaden Daniels and those numbers. Certainly, I hope he can pull it off. They might have just looked at the numbers. Bo Nix isn't the favorite, but if you look who really deserves it, it's a pretty good argument at this point. I don't know if we necessarily know, but there could be a stunner on Saturday night. Let's see. Anything else on the front there, on the college front? Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com then, if you're ready. I'm ready. I want to see who did well. I know I know I snuck in on a winning day, but let's see who did well in the handicappers. Hey, hello to Bookie Sniper. You got it. They're all going to be locks here today with me. You know that. And a few more comments here. There's Bookie Sniper. Thank you. Nice to have you. Nice to have a couple new faces, or I don't think we've met before, but thank you for coming in. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com. Take a look at the premium picks and see who did well. It was Nick Lagaretos of the famous Lagaretos Handicapping Brothers, and Nick goes 7-2 on the day. Hollywood Sam 6-1. Nice job. For those handicappers, I like to feature the ones that really put their face out there a little bit, and that would be our man Tony T. He rolls another perfect day, 3-0 on the day. Great job, Tony's had some nice days here of late for sure. Of course, check out all of Tony's coverage every day, complete coverage of NBA and also top college basketball matchups every day here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Tiffany Mance, you can join her with Mindy Hahn every day, 4-1 record yesterday, 80%. Great job. Chauncey Giles, Daniel Wolasachuk won their only play. This is a recording. Great job, guys. I went 3-2 yesterday. In addition to the winners that I mentioned in the NHL, we also had a premium pick winner on the Indiana Pacers last night in the NBA in-season tournament. We had the Pacers, gave you the explanations, and I think it worked out exactly the way we prescribed it last night. Yeah, we did take a loss, New Orleans and Sacramento. It did slow down in the second half. We went under in that game. We basically went 3-1 in the in-season tournament. It gave you the New Orleans Pelicans here with that strong passing, if you will, of the Kings. I don't mean their on-court passing, but the Kings had the lead early. The Pelicans went on to win. And yeah, that one, if anything, yeah, I went under. I was expecting a little bit more defense, and we did get defense kind of down the stretch, right, in the fourth quarter, but it was too little too late on that. But we did get defense in that first game, particularly right away in the late second quarter, early third quarter, started to slow that one down big time. Told you the Pacers would be interested in this one. Maybe Boston wasn't, and we had it that way. And great matchups tonight. We'll talk about them. So kind of funny, you mention it, you guys, and about the in-season tournament, and a lot of more criticism from these handicap guys just like me who get on here, guys with more experience, actually legends in the game, talking about unimportance of the. I remember when I said $500,000 for that's not shared among the team, you guys. That's per player. You get $500,000 for winning this tournament in your pocket. Yeah, there's tax, whatever. So maybe they don't care. They all make $10 million. The average salary is $10 million. All right. Do you make $100,000 at your job? Would you like an extra $5,000 onto that? Probably, probably. So you judge it for what it's worth. But these same handicappers who are coming on and dumbing it down, talking down to you, really telling you this is a dumb tournament. Maybe it is, but then they come on and give you a pick afterwards. Sounds like you don't understand what the how are you going to trust someone to give you a handicap? Some people are dealing in some of these databases so old they're giving out the New England Patriots still every week. So just dial it back a little bit. Take a look at some of these other handicappers here. Here's Ben Ruhala. 4-3 yesterday. The VIP account went 3-2. Nick Bartini, 2-1 yesterday as well. Last 7 days over at Tony'sPicks.com. It's none other than the man himself, Tony T, on top, 1,152 units over the last 7 days of picks here at Tony's Picks. Tiffany Mance is continuing to roll with the 619 units of profit. Nick Bartini, he's a face of platinum cappers, up over 5 1/3 units. Ben Ruhala up over 5 units over the past week. The VIP account up over 4 1/3 units. Ralph Raymond doing well, up over 400 units. Daniel Wolasachuk is up 400. I'm up there on the 7-day leaderboard, and Hollywood Sam. Over the last 30 days, it is Daniel Wolasachuk on top of the leaderboards with nearly 20 units of profit. Tiffany Mance here up nearly 15 units of profit. Nick Bartini up 12 units. Joseph Schultz is up over 11 units. And Tony T is up 890 units of profit over the last 30 days at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all of our premium pick packages. I'm going to have a nice package today, probably loaded up in college basketball. But yeah, the NBA in-season tournament definitely has my interest. Here, looks like they're taking it pretty serious to me. And hey, if you don't like it, just come back on Christmas. Don't try to fool us, okay? You're telling us we shouldn't be watching it, dumb tournament, trying to generate excitement, and then you're going to give us a pick on it. So Nick Vartini here's got a 3-pack today, 2 in the NBA, 1 in college. Ben Ruhala's got his props ready to go, and Daniel Wolosichuk a 5-pack in college basketball. Pretty good card today in the college ranks. Best bets from the crew, including those from Tony T and the VIP account. Head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use promo code TonyT at checkout. Click on the All Cappers tab. There you'll find the handicapper of your choice. You click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you can get signed up. Why not trust me for a 7-day package? Get you all the way through next week's Monday Night Football game, and well, we'll see how we do. I profited this past week, and it is college basketball time, which is my best sport. If you look at that handicapper leaderboard 2.0, go back through the records. Not just, saying it to pump up my sales here, get college basketball picks. We all love every other sport. College basketball, but college basketball, the reason why the percentages, and you'll find this not just with me, I would say, you'll find this with many multi-sport handicappers, that college basketball might end up being not only the best of someone like me, but of other real good handicappers as well, because of the pick and choose philosophy of college basketball. So many games to choose from. You can get your best value, your best plays. So check me out over there today. All right, you guys, a few more comments and get rolling with the show. All right. Yeah, Thomas Higgins was back last night. Maybe we didn't cover it too, but he had a nice job, obviously. And Gerardo says, I've got action today here for you guys. We've got Premier League popping off today at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific, with Wolves going up against Burnley. Certainly a featured attraction today. The Germany's in Pokal play today, so there are some pretty nice matchups there. And what else did I see? Oh, there's actually a doubleheader in England, huh? Luton takes on Arsenal. Spain's got Copa del Rey action today. Italia's got a matchup in Copa Italia, so you got some cup play today in some of the countries. All right, Ray, hello. William, hello. Getting ready for the show here. Thank you, Ray. Thank you for that soccer. Please bring your picks in with me here. Jimmy, hello. Chad, I think Chad just copied and pasted his comments from yesterday. And there it is. Gerardo has the Pokal picks today. Thank you. These guys know what they're doing. These guys know what they're doing, man. That's all I can say. I'm talking about our great soccer handicappers. CTG, nice to see you. Matt, yep, great game, no doubt. Fun game. Yeah, I did not enjoy the game with my picks, but I wasn't too, disappointed. Jake Browning looked just fine, right? You're going to take him. Look, hey, we've already seen Browning, this year. Don't forget. I mean, Burrow's been down. We've seen Browning in there. So it's not like, it did catch us by surprise. And if anything, my handicap was, look, I saw Browning earlier this season, and there just wasn't enough offense there for whatever reason. Like I said, Jacksonville didn't have a great night. I think Browning is what he is. Look, like I said, I think he made some money. I think he could go on now to another team and become, maybe a quarterback down low that needs a team type of guy here. But really still just a backup. And Mixon here, right? What was the one we ended up playing last night that I liked so much? The second half yardage, receiving yards, I think it was for Mixon. And we do some live betting, bookie. I join a couple of other shows sometimes on some other networks for some live betting. I don't promote it here. This is Tony's Picks YouTube channel, but you can find me on some of those other shows doing some live betting. And yep, no doubt, Terrell. Maybe, but I think again that's just like it was mentioned earlier, a little bit of maybe uh, close to the means a little bit there. Rodney says he hopes you cashed on the Bengals. I did not. And also the Pacers. Yes, we gave them out yesterday, of course. But no, I wasn't ready to go necessarily with the play there um, on the dog yesterday. I mean, maybe it reeked of a play that I would be on normally, but to me, remember I was saying, hey, NFL double digits are now 11-6 against the spread this season, and remember, you're still dealing with the, you know. Again, they were never going to cover that 10-point spread. So, no, I'm not going to get into it. All right. Good job, you guys. All right, and here we go. Let's talk about the games tonight and get started with the NBA in-season tournament with the Knickerbockers and the Bucks. And how will these go tonight? Look, yeah, the second game went over. Yeah, I had a loser premium. There was a little bit more defense, and I think in the first game we saw enough defense. And why wouldn't we see defense? Really, I think we'll see more defense in these games. Now, this total maybe doesn't reflect like yesterday's higher scoring games. Tonight's games are, well, they're lower scoring games, if you will. So with the Knicks and the Bucks, so how will it go when you have, I think we're dealing with last night, right? If you look at the two games, you had really just one championship contender in there in the Boston Celtics. Here, yeah, the Bucks certainly a championship contender. Knicks are a serious playoff contender. So those other, Pacers, even the Pelicans and the Kings. I mean, yeah. Uh, did I maybe go a little too crazy with the Kings? Probably. Even last night, they can't beat this team. How are you going to, advance through anything? But here with the Bucks and the Knicks, pretty exciting, pretty good matchup, no doubt in this one. And this spread has moved from as high as 6 down to as low as 4.5 here right now with the Bucks. So the move has been on the Knicks. And as far as there has been widely reported steam on this game, but it did come in on the over here at 226. The total did open as low as 222.5, and now it's all the way up here to 226. I see it much like the other games. I'm going to say that it's still going to be some defensive focus. Now, for those of you who probably subscribe to the theory that they're just phony games, they don't matter, you probably, I would think, should go over here, right? Considering what these teams have been, doing. I want to say this season, but just the matchup in general to me, right? If you think about so far, the Bucks, they've been a big time over team, 13-7 to the over so far, and uh, that should be good enough for you to just take it. I mean, if they don't care, why won't it be? This is a lower total, and I think it might be for a good reason. That's just kind of the way that I see it here. So a lot of pressure here to the over, but I think the total's gone too high. I think the original number was probably correct. I'm going to end up on the under in this game at. Is it still has it been coming back to 220? No, in fact, it's 227.5. So maybe it's going to continue to go up, but I've got the Knicks and the Bucks, so I'm going to be taking it under. You guys is my play here on the show. What do you guys have? And Thomas does like the tournament, and I don't want you guys to just agree with me. I mean, if you guys want to even debate it, I will. I'm not gonna. I don't care necessarily, but like I said, don't come on and tell me that this is a dumb idea. Nobody cares. I mean, you could just say, "Oh, I could still pick the game. They still got to go play the game." But to me, it sounds like you don't understand the concepts of the game. And a lot of times, some of these handicappers that are just, well, they're set it and forget it, if you will, right? And they can rely on their databases. It's great. I mean, look, uh, I'm a one who relies heavily on a database of trends. There's no doubt about it. I mean, to me, I'd probably, for a market handicapper that comes on here kind of spewing theories about covering point spreads and going over under, um, and using steam and sharp action and all those concepts that are really just individual perception of what you're thinking about the markets. I probably use trends just as heavily, if that makes any sense. It's almost like my fine line, right? And sometimes the personnel is less important than those two factors. All right, Bookie Sniper. Hey, thank you, Bookie Sniper. Again, I'm gonna blow that up though. I want to look at that avatar here. It's a car with a balloon attached to it. Is it an Infinity? What kind of car is that? Am I supposed to know? I might be, uncool and I don't know what I'm looking at, but I do think it's neat. Okay. Get some crazy things on this show, me trying to interpret YouTube avatars. And here, Rodney grabbed the Knicks last night. Thomas may go first half under. Doubles says it's up to 227. He said it. I said it too just now. So it's a BMW, of course. I can't see it, but BMW with a balloon hanging out. I'm not who's driving. I don't want to say too. Don't want to make you mad. It looks as a clown driving or something. He's hanging a balloon out the window. All right. And okay, if you guys are talking about the personnel, look, I'm the one that if anybody skips the personnel on these shows and more than anybody, it's probably me. And I love personnel more than but again, I think you get enough breakdown of personnel on those other shows, and I'm the market guy. And let me be your market man. Is the way I kind of feel about it. But if I look at my ratings here, I've got up arrows on Jalen Brunson tonight and Quentin Grimes. Totally down on many of these bucks here in this situation. Hint, hint, hint. If you know what I mean. Look, the Knicks, to me, talk about the totals and the defense. The Knicks haven't really shown much as far as over under. They're kind of 50-50. They're 9-10 over under right now, but I think they're right. I think their defense is pretty good. I'm feels like to me, kind of one of the better group of defenders. I don't know as a unit if they defend that well, but I think man to man, I just think they can get caught in some situations with some teams, and that's why maybe they've had some of these overs so far. Jimmy's on the Knicks, Brunson to go over. That's what they. Let's see what Chad is saying here, because see if it. He says guard props over against Bucks, not front court. Right? Yeah. Right. So I'm on Brunson and I'm on Grimes. I'm asking you guys if I got these matchups right. Right. So, and again, I mean, I'm just trying to say they'll have good games. I'm talking point totals, but I'm talking assists for guards or rebounding for, how will they perform in their matchups type of thing. So I'm a DFS player and I rate players. I can't play DFS anymore in Nevada. It really, man, I mean, I want to stay. I'm going to stay, I think, another year, but really bummed out about that. Someone who likes to a good gamble. So, anyways, so I'm up on Brunson and Grimes, but I'm down on the Bucks. I'm down on the Bucks from the front court. I'm down on the Bucks. I'm down on Beasley, Middleton, Giannis here. Brooke Lopez here. So, yeah, maybe I'll be on the Knicks tonight. I'm not tipping my hand, I hope. I'm going to have premiums in both these games, but for me, I will take the under here. I'll leave it up on the screen if you don't mind at 226.5. So when you arrive to the window, you can get the best line. And I was getting teased about that the other night on one of the shows. I said, "Hey, I like to give out the worst line. You know how we." And it's right. We want to instruct people to you can get the best line by having at least multiple books, at least 2, 3, whatever you can afford. Rodney, come on. I love DFS. So, but the main thing there is um, right. That's how sad my life is, Doubles. It could be the taxes, it could be family, it could be a job, but for me, it just want to play some DFS, I guess. So Julius Randle, also though, I am down on his matchup, of course. He'll be fired up against Giannis part of the time, and well, Giannis is still pretty good, pretty good defensive player when he's focused, and no doubt about that. So Connaughton out of this one, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know if there's any other. This one's on the move right now. Steam is hitting this game big time. I'm not being over dramatic here. Anybody who watches a screen, this game is getting hit. The Knicks and the Bucks right now. It's back up to 5, and the total has zoomed again to 228. You could back me up. Someone in the chat, some of my market watchers here can verify for me right now that this thing is 5 and 228 market wide as we've sat here and talked. The whole screen is red right now on that game, right across the line. Every play, 5.5 at circa right now. So it's going up, up, up. Is there a situation here where there's news that has come out this early? I don't know. The Knicks injury report isn't too, but this is live TV, and I just want to tell everyone that this game is on the move higher as we speak. If you want the over, now is the time here. No doubt. Because this thing's 228 everywhere. 228.5 at DraftKings, 228.5 Bet Online, 228.5 at Circa. So move here right now as we speak. And again, the move on the Bucks isn't as surprising. I mean, some books opened it as high as 6.5. DraftKings opened at 6.5, went all the way back down to 4.5, and coming back. The total though is definitely been higher, higher, higher. I say wait. I say I want to go under. Sharps prefer the over in this one, probably 2-1, but I think that it's just caused the line to go too high. And I expect, like last night, a little bit of defense. All right, we're moving on. But I can't emphasize enough that line was moving as we speak. All right, wake up here. Suns and Lakers, the other game tonight in the tournament, the in-season tournament that nobody likes. Lakers favored here by 1.5, total 228, maybe even 228.5 right now. This one opened as low as 223.5, maybe on the early release numbers. It was quickly bet up. And again, okay. I get it. These NBA games go higher. You probably have good teams in this, format. Maybe that's what they're looking at here. These teams are pretty good. The Suns have recovered nicely to go 12-8. The Lakers, I think they're overachieving at 12-9. I figured they'd be busting balls to be 500 and get in the same situation that they were in last year. Trying just to fight to get in type of thing. And maybe there's still trouble ahead, but feels like 12-9 is a pretty nice record for them right now. And again, I think this was going to be a tight, a good game that these guys are going to care about. It looks like LeBron cares about winning this. Right? If you're the Lakers, if you're subscribing to these theories about these players don't care, if any team shouldn't care about this, it's the Lakers, right? But interestingly, in short formats, think about now. This is a big difference in a way but think about the pandemic season. That worked in LeBron's favor, didn't it? So shorter format, you can get a little more focused. The Lakers seem to like this type of situation, is what it looks like to me. And maybe they can have the upper hand here just at home against the Suns. Now, the Lakers aren't too terrific against the spread, but really all we're asking you to do is win this game. They're favored by just 1.5 points in this matchup. So I'm going to take the Lakers. I think to win a game right now that I think they can win. Um, like I said, totally surprised that they're playing as well. And again, I didn't think they were, uh, be 6-12 or anything like that. All right. Anything here with you guys on this one? Let's take a look here at maybe some of the injuries uh, Terrell has asked coming into this one. And yeah, I mean, Beal's out, we know, until further notice. So LeBron is questionable, but come on, he'll be in there. So if anything, you're going to want to get these Lakers early. I don't expect him to miss this important game. I think for LeBron, the billionaire that he is, I still, I think even 500,000 for him. I think these guys are real people that know the value of a nice little extra paycheck. Um, Rodney wants the Suns here. Bookies on the Suns. Everybody's against me on this one. And Chad says toss up game with no Beal. But Beal's been out now since mid November. So the Suns have been doing an okay job without. But I know what you're saying, maybe in this matchup, Chad, here. But again, I mean, um, I don't know. Have you tossed out the Sun? Is it just this matchup because of the matchup, or have you just tossed out the Suns for the last 2.5 weeks? 3 weeks that no Beal's been out there because they're not worthy of a handicap. Or I mean, I can't look. I've just got to take what I've got. I've got to look at the team here. But some people will look at a team like that. I'm surprised at Chad that you do. Oh, great point, Terrell. That's no doubt that is a good point there. It seems like so long ago, doesn't it? And I don't know, for a person my like getting old, right? I mean, it felt like the pandemic was like the change of the point of life. Other than getting on a roll with you guys and being able to be with you, man, if this pandemic feels like it's been downhill. But I'm half kidding. Maybe it's actually been good. Uh, Maybe it's good to knock the economy down to 25% every 100 years and start over. All right. Hey, how about the matchups tonight? How do I look at it? Well, I'm not sure on AD's matchup here tonight. I've got kind of the one guy. To me tonight, it's LeBron, it's Cam Reddish for the Lakers. Ah, thank you. Doubles. I got someone on my side here. I got Panger. It looks like 50-50. It doesn't feel like a consensus. Maybe it feels like you guys are just leaning to the Lakers in this one. And I do have my market perception on it, what I think the Sharps are doing. When I started the show, and again, I think it was because of the partnership with Mindy at the time, but I was going to just call it who the Sharps are on. I was just come on here and say who the Sharp. That was going to be my name of the show. Who the Sharps are on. Good thing we chose Team Steam because, like I said, it's all about you guys. You guys are my Sharps. So, all right, you could tell I'm on the Lakers here. Yes, I'm a Lakers fan, but come on. I'm often against the Lakers. I know this team, so I like to think I know this team. Maybe it'll help you guys believe or trust in me tonight on the free play. Oh, Chad's got a long comment. I know some people get down on the long comments, but I'm a long commenter. I try to fit all my comments into 200 characters exactly. Takes a few games for the Lakers to get right, adding guys back to the rotation. He's not back in the Suns after the last collapse. Figure Booker makes a difference this time, but sees it as a toss-up. So probably not worth getting involved with for Chad in this one. But I'm gonna. I mean, come on, this is the in-season tournament. It's one of the biggest games of the season. Even though some people don't realize it. And I'll take the Lakers. All right, enjoy those games tonight. And again, we back. They're coming right back. Again, what happens now tomorrow is all those matchups have been made. Tomorrow is a huge NBA schedule with 11 games with all the teams that didn't make the tournament. And I did research actually how they ended up making the matchups. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna figure it out tonight. Unless you guys know right now in the chat. And if I don't know, you guys probably don't know. How did they make the matchups for the next game? Because like we didn't know who was in, and now they've made like 11 matchups tomorrow with teams that aren't in, and then like they'll have to play like an extra game or two with each other. And they look like all conference or division games to me: Orlando, Cleveland, Memphis, Detroit, uh, Philly, Washington, Brooklyn, Atlanta, San Antonio, Minnesota, Miami, Toronto, Charlotte, Chicago. Right? They all look OKC, Houston, Utah. They all make sense. I mean, we know how the schedule works. But, all right. Let's get in. We're going to go basketball specific. Probably change the format up a little bit as football winds down, and maybe we'll just roll with basketball, then into hockey. Hockey is why you guys come. So if that's only reason why you come, just want to keep a little format structure together. Probably moving hockey towards the end. We'll keep all basketball together a little bit moving forward, unless there's some, or we could reverse it, I guess, if there's a huge hockey night and basketball. But I'm just saying try to keep basketball together. And so you don't have to wait through the hockey if you're just a basketball fan. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Doubles, they was ready to go and like, but what did they do with like? Would have been Portland would have played like if Golden State got in, for example, would it be just Portland and Lakers or Portland and Suns? Like have the teams interchangeable. So schedule, yeah, and it feels like they're filling conference games, and of course, probably sticking to the format as closely as possible. Like they were going to end up playing conference games here. The only one that isn't right is let's see. Yeah, there was one in there, right? Memphis and no, yeah, Memphis and Detroit is a non-conference, but all the others are conference games. So okay, all right. So like I said, college basketball next. I've selected 6 games today to look at. You can request a game, and I'll try to get it. I know I missed one yesterday. Whoever that was, I'm sorry. I remembered it after the show, and you guys were like, somebody said, "How about Arkansas State and Alabama or something like that?" And I did end up. Hey, don't forget, you. I mean, there are a lot of videos out there. If you really like Ramon Scott picks, I do put a video up usually on the weekdays for sure um, with our sponsor pick, and also I talk about the leaderboard every day here on the site, so you can grab a few more picks from me if you want, and also in the Discord. Uh, hey, if you want the Steam is already up in the Discord, so if you want to take a look here, this is a college basketball segment. So if you want to go in, and thank you, Gerardo, got us another Pokal play in there as well. But if you go into that Discord, there is a list right now of 35 Steam plays. Yeah, the lines are going to be stale. You've missed it. These are what the sharps hit early before the show throughout the night and last night. But you could see the games that were sharply hit by going to the Discord. There's a list there of 35 games. In fact, let me check this. Let me show it to you real quick, if I can, here on the show, so that if you don't know what we're talking about, maybe this is something you would be interested in seeing over here um, as more content. All right. So if you go into the Discord here, I've loaded up the Steam. You see Gerardo's Pokal pick there. But look at here, all these Steam plays from today. Maybe you could screenshot these right now if you want. If you didn't know or how to get into the Discord, here they are. Widely reported steam from a major line service on these earlier games. These are 6:30 Eastern to 8:30 Eastern, and then more games tonight from uh, 9 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern West Coast action here. These are the ones. These are the ones that came out before the show. There's been a few more here as we've been sitting here, but check these out if you're interested, just by getting over to the Discord. All right, you see the Discord, the ones that I'm in there. Some of the ones there. Some of the Discords that I'm in, other Discords. All right. Anyways, let's get rolling with our pick in college basketball today with Florida Atlantic here going up against Illinois. Remember Florida Atlantic? We've already been on them a couple of times, I think, here on the show. I mean, don't forget about Florida Atlantic and how good they are, right? They were the ones that were kind of like San Diego State last year, but even more of a surprise, right? Because they don't, I mean, San Diego State had a big time tradition of getting, into the postseason, even getting Sweet 16 before there. But Florida Atlantic, remember, had the other incredible uh, Final Four run last year, so they're favored on the neutral here, if I'm not mistaken. Let me at least make that clear. I think I have at written down there, and I need to change that because this is at Madison Square Garden. So kind of interesting, right? That Florida Atlantic, gets an invite here to this, but they're worthy of it given their ranking right now, their record. I mean, this field was set already, but again, you got a great Florida Atlantic team here for the Valvano Classic. Why not? Um, will Illinois come in and use the height to their advantage? I would think they would have a pretty strong height advantage here in this matchup, but Florida Atlantic does so many things so well. They're still a pretty quality team. Certainly, right now with their 7-1 start so far, Illinois also off to a pretty good start at 6-1. But look at the spread records of these two teams. Florida Atlantic kind of getting disrespected still after last 7-1. They're 6-2 against the spread, and they played some tough opponents some decent opponents. They've won and covered four straight against A&M, Virginia Tech, Liberty, Charleston, Florida Atlantic. Tough schedule rolling through these teams. Florida Atlantic is darn good, man. Illinois, meanwhile, they're on a 4-game winning streak. They've covered 3 in a row, but their spread record is just 3-4. So they were a little bit overrated, maybe. Uh, you know, uh, their recent opponent, you can kind of compare them a little bit too, right? Florida Atlantic. Look, those aren't but they're not bad teams, right? Texas A&M. You think about Texas A&M, saw them this weekend, right? And that was a high-scoring game too, man. 180 something points in that one. Virginia. Think about that schedule that I just mentioned that FAU has played and compare it to the 4-game winning streak of Illinois. Valpo, Southern, Western Illinois, and then a conference game against a Rutgers team that they beat by 18 points as a 1.5-point dog on the road. So good win there, certainly for Illinois. And they crushed Western Illinois and Southern. They did cover those games, but still not the quality of competition. And when they went up against Marquette, their last loss for Illinois, they got beat by uh, uh, 13 points in that one as a 1.5-point favorite at home. So, and that's against Marquette. It's pretty good, but Florida Atlantic's probably better than uh, than that. So, I'm going to end up probably here on Florida Atlantic. Look, I talked about that total, but I don't know if I can get on a premium here necessarily. I mean, I think I like the under in this game. If it's at one, let me see. Is it still at 147.5? That's what I need to know. And currently the line is 146.5. So it's moving lower here, I think, for sure. What Terrell says, no, it screams over. Well, that may be the case, Terrell, and you are one of our best cappers in this chat for sure. But just note that the total has moved from 148 and a half on an opener, 149 at Bovada, and also at uh, the stations here down the street. But it's now 146 and a half. So we've seen a significant move to the under. Gives you value, gives Terrell value. But again, early limit betting getting hit pretty hard here to the under. And that's the way I was leaning, though, Terrell. So, well, all respect to you, my friend. And just about a half an hour ago, this one's gotten hit hard twice. Um, I'll just say it right, Terrell. I'll give it out on the air. I'm not going to give it out as a premium. I'm not issuing a challenge. I like the under. There's a lot of games today. Maybe it is a little bit of a challenge to my man here. You're one of the best, Terrell, no doubt. I like the under. I like the under. Looking at this move, it looks too serious to me. I'm going to just respect these professional bettors. You're a great handicapper as well. All right. Oh, man, Rodney, I like this card today, but hopefully we got a few more for you here. We got a few, and you guys add your comments as well. But no doubt, Terrell. I mean, again, almost apologizing to you in a way. They tell me never say you're sorry. I'm one of those guys, man. I say I'm sorry a lot. Probably seems insincere. Maybe that's why they say that. All right. Oh, Chad, that's interesting. I'm going to look into that for that. But again, they ended up with that one non-conference game. But maybe they have to have a. No, okay. Anyways, keep it going with college. Give me FAU in the under tonight. Okay. Next up, here I've got a matchup with Wisconsin and Michigan State. Woo! Okay. This is not quite like Iowa football, is it? But it could be. Here in this one with Whiskey going to East Lansing, and Michigan State's a favorite here by 5.5. Total's hanging around 130 or so, 130 and a half in this one. And I think, let me see here. For me, look, like I said, these two teams, you think about Big Ten football a little bit. Maybe that's what we should be expecting here with Wisconsin and Michigan State. Hey, this one's on Peacock tonight. I knew I had that Peacock subscription for more than just Sunday Night Football. For me, though, I kind of think Michigan State might be the right side in this one. Sharps are kind of mixed here on the total, but man, I've got to think this one feels like an under to me. I mean, feels like feels like maybe it should be even a premium here with this total. I would think this game gets played in the 120s somewhere. Maybe I'll lean Michigan State and lay these points. It does feel like it could be pretty close, but I'm more siding, I think, with Michigan State here. They are 3-2 against the spread so far at home. There's really nothing too special about their numbers here. But look at these so far on the totals. We already kind of make fun of Wisconsin sometimes for, the type of play that they have. We talked about that game, right, against Marquette. We won it by half a point going under in that game, but I would think here against Michigan State, let's see, last year 134, 132. These are the last 132 with these teams. So they always do end up about right here, last three meetings. And oh, hello, Jay Hole. Great to have you in the chat. You're looking dapper and not even sure we've had you before. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. If Jay Hole, my new handicapper, if you will, thanks for commenting, sir. Actually, I just like to see new names. That's all. Oh, it's John. Well, John, but I mean, you're a regular, but you're not all solid regular. So appreciate you. Maybe can I say, you're John Hall? You're my good viewer John Holland, but maybe to Jay Hall, I'll be saying holla like Benru holla. All right, Rodney, thank you for your other pick here. So I will go Michigan State then. John and I will be on this one here. And man, I do like the under. I'm just saving it, I think, for. Um, Yeah, and you know what? Double. I used to. I mean, I watch a lot of the wrestling cards on it with one of the screens usually because of the time it's on. There's not a lot of sports. A lot of times they know what they're doing. That company, and I actually could talk more wrestling, but I just think it would be scoffed at and laughed at a little bit. But I was actually thinking because you know how I don't know if you could go to some of the offshore books that I do where the wrestling is available. You usually play like $50 on the matches, but no one does wrestling betting content, and no one really bets wrestling because there's small limits. But I think some people do bet wrestling because it's they're betters and they watch it, and I might even get like more views than any of these other shows. It feels like if it got on the right track, but that's just something I've thought about because I like watching wrestling. Just because we watched wrestling because there wasn't a lot of sports on when I was a kid, so I watched wrestling. All right. So for me, give me Michigan State. I might be saving this under. I'd like to see a little bit more market activity from sharps on the under because they're kind of split, and I might be missing the value. But I sure would think about a premium the way this is going. I mean, Michigan State's already 1-6 to the under so far this season, and Wisconsin is both their road games so far have gone under. So, all right. Okay, here we go with the next one. All right. I got some fake news coming in. I hate when some of the fake news that comes in and gives you an injury update that you already is like a minor injury update, and they say it's devastating, and it's like we already know what the injury was. Thank you, Jimmy. All right, next matchup here I'm looking at is between Providence and Oklahoma. Hey, Providence did a nice job considering having a coaching change this season, and here they're getting points from OU. In this one, this one's at 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific. But uh, Providence still a nice job so far with their 7-1 record. Now Oklahoma does come in here at 7-0, but and they're getting numbers, so that's good. That's good that you can still get this Oklahoma team and still make some money here, possibly covering some numbers. But be careful with Providence because they're also covering so far in that 7-1 record, 5-3 against the number. But I believe this is their first true road game, and going up against Oklahoma here, 3-2 against the number at home, but 5-2 against the spread overall in those 7 games thus far. Um, thus far this season. So the action has been coming in opened as high as 6.5, and now we're actually seeing some move here down to no, it's all fives. It's all fives across the board, but the total certainly has to be updated at this point. I would have to say it's at least 142.5, if not 142 at this point. Pretty hard pressure here to the under. Oklahoma's been going over so far this season, that's for sure. They're 4-1 to the over at home so far this season. And Providence has been an under so far. In fact, they've gone 2-6 to the under. So just conflicting so far for both these teams. It might make it a little bit tough to discern uh, the direction because of Oklahoma being an over team. I will say, I think, like I said, I believe Providence first true road game, so that has to be considered here. But man, you just think that OA can have a strong game here. Providence, though, I mean, Carter has just been. Let me look at Carter a little bit because he's just been massive. Hopkins has been doing great as well. So 17 last time for Carter against. Uh, man, okay. And Providence's schedule's been kind of easy. 17 against Rhode Island, 10 against Wagner, but they covered those games laying big numbers. Here they're getting the points. All right, but man, I still think I'm going to be on Oklahoma here. Anything from you guys on this one? No, not really. All right, it'll just have to be me here when it comes to this one. I think I might have missed one of my matchups there, and I apologize. I'll be going right back to it here. No, I'm in chronological order. I'm still going to get this right. I want it in rotation order. I'm yelling at the producer, which is me. So, all right. Boy, at 5 in this one. All right. I think I'm gonna switch here and end up taking the points with Providence. And this, I think they might be able to cover here. This one's my least favorite in the confidence level. Look, the total having moved down to 142 definitely has caught my eye. In fact, let's do that. I want to go over. I think the move is too significant to the under. Is that really what they're expecting? This total was as high as 147 here. They did hit it pretty hard to the under, and they've been right in a lot of these spots like this. But my numbers indicate that the initial number was a little bit closer to my power ratings. So I'm just going to have to roll with that in a game that I don't have a lot of conviction with the markets or my feel for the game. I'm going to rely on the numbers here and go ahead and take this over, actually, as my play. Providence and Oklahoma. All right. Doubles, thank you for that. Talking about today's Liberty matchup. Appreciate that. See if I have a comment on that. All right. Let's see here. Next up, let me go back. Okay, Villanova here in Kansas State. Was Villanova favored in this one by 2? And the total here is 143. Okay. Well, in this one, look, these teams, you talk about putting up some points. These two teams have, definitely had some higher scoring games. I would call it this so far. With these two teams and also Villanova, they've done a pretty nice job so far, actually, getting some numbers. Now, Villanova comes in with a 6-3 record straight up. Kansas State comes in with a 6-2 record overall. And some people might be expecting that Villanova here can bounce back against K-State team that has won 3 in a row. Villanova's actually lost 2 straight to Drexel and St. Joe's in Big Five play. And, those you might consider distractions, but when you come in or not just, overlooking those teams, obviously, 12-point favorite against St. Joe's, 11-point favorite against Drexel, and they lost the game outright. Now you expect them to go in and take on a Kansas State team. So far, look, Kansas State, they're not getting any numbers. That's for sure. They're winning games. They're have kind of an easy schedule, I think, so far, and they're not really getting numbers. They're just 2-5 against the spread at home. But to me, it's because they were playing, some pretty inferior opponents, if you will, right? They beat Oral. They didn't cover. They beat up on Central Arkansas. They got the money. Now, interesting to note, they did win at Providence 73-70. We talked about Providence's, good start and their one loss or whatever. There it is, Kansas State. Now they did lose to Miami at home. And they last game they didn't cover a big number against North Alabama. They only won it by 1 point. So some issues here certainly for K State. On the surface, it probably looks like Villanova's a little bit better, but man, losing those two Big Five games that does seem kind of weird. Yep. Yeah, Terrell, that's two disappointing losses, right? So they've got to have a better game here. It would feel like. But again, you're also dealing with a challenge game. And Rodney says he thinks it will go over in this one. I do too, Rodney. Let me look at some of the market moves in this one because to me, I just look at what these two teams have been doing so far. We talked about teams putting up points. Now I know I was contrarian kind of uh, in that last spot, but I don't know. The total, it just feels like it might be inflated because of what we've seen from these two teams so far. Villanova's just 5-4 to the over so far. K State, though, 5-1-1 to the over at home. So, but, definitely putting these two teams together. It seems like the Sharps are on Villanova. And, okay, I'll roll with Villanova. It seems like you guys want Villanova. The Sharps are on Villanova. Um, the gut feel is those two losses look bad to me, but it seems like a reasonable number on the road. Let me go ahead and put it up. I think it might even be 2.5. So let me make sure we give ourselves a maximum challenge here. And do we need to update that total a little bit? You guys said it was 143.5. And now I'm showing it even 144.5 juice to the under at Bet Online. We at least got to put a 144, right? Seems like the public's going to go over in this one. I might be thinking it might be getting a little too high, actually. So, but it would just be a lean. I don't think it'd be a play at this point. And I'll go ahead and take Villanova. You're right. They should. They should have the better team, the better talent right now to go in and beat Kansas State in this game. To me, it just lose right. You should be motivated for Big Five games. I don't care about covering double digits, but if you play for Villanova and you're losing your Big Five games, that's not right. You need to be focused and win those games. Um, you might think they don't mean anything because you're playing a lesser team, but it means the world to teams like, uh, you know, Drexel, okay, and Penn and St. Joe's. All right, that's the way. I mean, I don't know. I'm not from there, so don't let me, misspeak here about that. If you're Villanova, you need to win those games. All right. Hey, I do want to talk about San Diego State here tonight against Grand Canyon, just because it looks really, man. Um, I didn't get a chance to read the article there, being a San Diegan, like about the why they ended up in this situation in this matchup that seems very very daunting. I do not want to take any. I do not want to take my you know top top 20 caliber. Look, I'm disappointed so far with the way San Diego State's going. They should continue to improve and get better, just judging from this roster, judging from the fact that they have, I don't know, one of the best players in the country, I believe, in Jaden Leday. I mean, I think, unless I'm reading it wrong. Now, the supporting cast has to do a little bit better, certainly, but uh, Leday had a big game, saved the day against UCSD. San Diego State almost lost to UCSD. That shouldn't happen either. So San Diego State's a huge, they're 7-1. I'm calling them a disappointment so far because you lost to BYU, but all these other games, they have two games go to overtime so far. They haven't really looked that great. Maybe they are clutch. Maybe they're relying on what Thomas said. Maybe it's just, they think they're so good. Watch out tonight against Grand Canyon. I mean, this is not easy to go into this, to play this team at their arena. I mean, the Havocs are, one of the goofiest setup fans out there, and I mean that with all compliments. They've got one of the most tremendous fan bases in the country, game in and game out. They show up on winter break. They don't care. This is a happening, right now in Phoenix when the Grand Canyon plays at home. I mean, I know I'm not, telling you guys something most of you don't already know, but if you don't, you better. And San Diego State better. And I want to go back and find out why we are in this difficult setting now. Maybe they should win this game, but it doesn't feel like the way that they're playing. They're going to win this game. And I imagine that this game is going to be, quite frankly, an ugly fest. I do not like this thing 142. I mean, no way. No way. It's already moved down from like 146. And think of how much value we've missed out on this. I think we're just going to give it out right here on the show. I still want to go under as a premium, even at 142. Yeah, 142. Let me move it down to 142 because I want to go under. And I think San Diego State's going to have problems here. And if they play anything like they played in like half these games, they're not going to win. They're not going to win. I don't want to go against them here on the air, but I don't know. You guys might want to go on. You guys might want to go on Grand Canyon here in this one. And maybe I'll put some emotional hedge. I'm one that, look, there's a lot of gambling out there. We want to make great decisions. I would bet Grand Canyon on the money line and just take my chances there. And hey, if San Diego State wins, and we're that much closer to escape to a trap. It's a tarp tonight for San Diego State. Watch out! I'll take the under. There's going to be it feels like a premium. Is this Rodney going against me again, or is this? Maybe I'm missing it, Rodney. Remember, though, this is my team, so if you're right, you'll be right tomorrow. Or maybe you were talking about the last game, too, the same total. But I don't know. I think it's going to be in the 120s or one. I guess I better just say it's going to be in the high 130s because it probably will be, actually. But this one could get a little rugged. I promise you that. There could be a time where no one scores for like 10 or 10 minutes or something. Well, I don't want to say game time. That's kind of ridiculous. But, yeah, they're going to have some issues, I imagine, tonight. I'll be watching that one. Very interesting. All right, one other game I decided to preview here, and we got to get to the hockey. So, 6 games on the ice or so. 8 games. But Connecticut, North Carolina had some widely reported steam come in here while we were on the air, actually. So let me see if I can get that. It was right as we were coming on the air. So it was a steam move on the total. This one's at 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific tonight. This one is at the, of course, Jimmy V Classic. And let's see, total right now, I think this one's on the move lower here to 152. Oh gosh, 150 and a half now at DraftKings. That's what I mean. This game feels like to me is going to be an under. Let's see what you guys, if you guys have anything. No, nothing yet from you guys on the comments. Okay, so I'll kind of talk about it a little bit, maybe break it down, maybe even get into some of the matchups with the personnel here. And problem in this one is, I believe, on the injury front, right, with Connecticut. Let's see if they're what they list on these injuries right now, because it's significant players, but more so just a number of decent players that are on this list tonight. Caravan, Klingon, Spencer, all questionable. Castle, of course, out with a knee injury. So Connecticut has some issues here, significant issues with injuries, I would say, coming into this one. No hugely impact players, but let me see on that. How much production really is missing from this lineup? Because remember, you're talking about Connecticut here, one of the top teams in the country. I mean, Klingon, probably you're talking about their basically their second. Yeah. Now Newton is great. I mean, no doubt. But when you're talking about Klingon, you're talking about Spencer, you're talking about Caravan, you're talking about maybe the next three best players on Connecticut. So how can they be favored in this game with those guys? Now they're listed as questionable. I imagine that they could play in this game. So I don't want to get too carried away, but they all are riding an injury designation here coming into this game. Caravan with a finger injury, Klingon with a toe injury, and Spencer with a foot injury, all listed as questionable. So even if they're in there, they're still going to have a little bit of ailment. And you're talking about three of the four, you know, best players on the team, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys, uh, you know, think about that, but they're all starters. I know that, right? Because they're all, very productive. Like I said, three of the four starters going to be on the injured list here tonight. So I'm going to have to side with Carolina. And look, I mean, if they were in there, if they had a clean injury report, I was looking to go over with those are in this game. Look, the total's high. The total's high. 153. Like I said, 150 and a half now at DraftKings. I mean, I at least got to put it down to 152 or something, or 151 and a half. It's definitely going lower. So give me Carolina here in this one. Hey, Carolina's still 7-1. I mean, don't let me just try to oversell you on these injuries. I mean, I'm not the injury guy, right? I mean, I tell you plenty of times where, hey, I'm not worried about these injuries. This is a spot for me. The line is baked in. Do you really think the line is baked in? What is the line if these guys are, get ruled in? Is Carolina three big impact starters? Um, Believe me, if you watch this team, if go look at the stats right now. So when these guys get ruled in tonight for Connecticut, is the spread going to go up to like 12? No, the spread's not hardly going to move. Maybe it'll go 6.5, 7, 7.5, maybe. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think people are looking. And Connecticut is a very good team with capable players to come in for these guys. Moving. That's the reason why they are, one of the best teams in the country, and were terrific last year, as obviously last year as well. So far this season, Connecticut 2-3 against the spread at home. Carolina has covered two of their three natural road games, if I'm not mistaken here. And Carolina's got obviously Davis, Ingram, probably pretty strong. Baycott, probably pretty okay for him, especially if that front court is has two of the play. You got Klingon's the center and Caravan's a forward. So. Carolina, Connecticut, obviously. Carolina, obviously, is a front court strong team. There's no doubt about that, right? So, all right, I've got to take uh, Carolina, and then look, I even have it right. Let me see here. Do I have the? I've done this whole segment with the point spread on the wrong. We were at least we said it. We were talking right. And again, neutral site game. This one's at Madison Square Garden. Now I have to do the whole segment over. We got to start over, you guys, because we're not starting over. But you guys know Connecticut's favored. I was describing as Connecticut's favorite, and Connecticut is favored in this game, of course. And like I said, will it move? If three starters who, I don't know, let me go to Ken. Let me, just to make one more point here, I'll go to Ken Palm. here and see. Look, there it is. I mean, look at this. Uh, Look at how where some of these where these guys are listed in the Ken Palm ratings. I mean, yeah, it is. They're three of the four best players. I mean, three starters. So, obviously the big man. All right, I'm on Carolina. Here we go. That's it for college. Thanks, you guys. Got any games? Too late now, unless you want to put them up there. Maybe we can come back at the end of the show. We got to get to hockey. This is what you came for. I really want to sing the. I like that song, so I want to sing "This Is What You Came For," but nobody likes my singing. Here we go. Hockey tonight, 8 games. I'm an old school guy, but I kind of like that over the last 10 or so years of my life. It was even though I'm getting old, I like that or your that techno music. I mean that's what people. I heard a discussion about what do you listen to when you handicap, and I mean I listen to shows, but I like to have music, and uh, I kind of listen to those two channels on the Syria. The techno, just really method. Keeps the rhythm going. Okay, here we go. Rangers and Senators. Tonight in this one. And the Rangers probably in a pretty decent position, you'd think, here against the Senators. Um, uh, as a relatively cheap favorite here on the road, $1.35, total at 6.5. And there's been some movement. Let me just update it. 6.5 under 20. So this total has moved lower, but I think we're still looking at mostly $1.35 here for the Rangers on the road. So I don't know. Interesting. I mean, look, give Ottawa a lot of credit for what's going on right now, but still, you're dealing with Rangers here. Certainly one of the best teams in the league with a great winning percentage. I mean, they're 18-4, and the Senators are not even a 500 club right now. I mean, looks like some pretty good value. Can we really get up the uh, courage to play a road favorite here like this when the talk about the line screaming, right? The line would say, Vegas is telling you this is Ottawa's spot, right? And this team did come in a little bit on the Rangers. I don't know if I even liked it that much, quite frankly, but I don't know if I can pass up on the Rangers here at this price. Just going to have to take them and just either I don't know hockey or this is a dead spot. These are the ones where I'm supposed to figure out the dead spot. This is, and I do, right? You guys, maybe you're here for, in some of my hockey, I'm the guy that's on the play that we're not all necessarily on sometimes, it feels like, right? But I can't do it. I've just got to take the Rangers at this price and just figure that like I said, the Sharps. There doesn't seem to be an indication here that the Sharps are on Ottawa, which would to me would be the thing to keep the price down, right? Do I not understand what's going on here? Just seems like a little bit of a discount for the Rangers. I'll take it right now. Give me the Rangers. Call me square. Like I said, never played the game. I must not know what's going on, but I'm going to try the Rangers in this one. All right. Does it get any better for my Kings right now? You can't stop these guys. They are for real. They're a cup contender. There's no doubt we can throw them in the mix. And I'm glad that everyone that, on a national scale, that is starting to be the case as well. But still laying a pretty big price here against the Blue Jackets on the road. And I think this has been, let me take a look. I think this has been kind of a Kings. Okay. Columbus has, okay. Kings have won 5 straight on the road. Kings have gone under in 7 of their last 8 overall. The Blue Jackets have gone under in 5 of their last 6 games. So, some strong numbers that would indicate a total to go under here. And this one's been beaten down a little bit here, it looks like, by the Sharps. In fact, I saw some widely reported steam, I thought, come in on this game here. Oh, just 20 minutes before air. They hit the total under, which makes sense, like I said, given some of these trends. And right now, I'm showing some books have even circas at 6 over 20. So if I'm going to give out the under, I better give it out at the worst possible price, which is probably 6 over 20 right now. The Kings, they might be down to 215 or 210, but man, they should win this game. If they should win this game right now, uh, it feels like against Columbus, even at the price. I don't think I could feel comfortable laying this price in front of you guys and touting as such. And I'm not sure they can get there on the puck line today, actually. But I'm going to go under here with these two teams. At I'll call it 6 over 20. There are plenty of 6.5s out there. It might be $1.25 or so to get that. DraftKings 6.5 under 20 looks pretty good. So I'm going under here in this one. The one thing about the Kings and what they're doing, it a lot of it does have to do at this point with the defense. Kings have gone 3-6 to the under here on the road so far this season. I'll take the under, and that goes along with some of those trends, like we said, Columbus going under as well. Yeah, salty. How about this? I mean, it's just impossible. I mean, I'm talking about the defense, but what about the goal scoring, right? It's like they appear to have it all. Look, every team's going to have some moments where they don't look perfect, but man, and I guess maybe because probably watch the Kings more than any other team, and I'm just try to be honest with myself, certainly, and I just can't believe what I'm seeing sometimes with this team right now. They look impeccable at times. Sharks and Islanders here. The Sharks, yeah. Hey, I think we're gonna start. It's tough, man, because you look at the overall record of the Sharks on the road, and they haven't been able to get it done. But if any team deserves a little, negative regression. Is that a word? Is that something? Is it positive regression? Negative regression means getting better when you're bad, right? I don't even know how those terms work, but it can't get much worse for the Sharks. And if anything, it started to throw a little life into the Sharks of late. I mean, come on, they've been covering puck lines left and right here. It seems like for the most part of late. Yeah, they've gotten beat up in some games too, but they got the puck line against the Rangers. They got the puck line against the Caps. They got the puck line against the Canucks. So, hey, if they can get a few puck lines here or there, look, they've got 6 wins now, 1-11 straight up on the road. We know all that. But I don't know. It feels like they can hang in there at some of these prices. And well, tonight you can get them at a goal and a half at even money or so. Man, I don't know. I kind of want to take them here in this one, but I don't know. At $3, let me make sure of the price here. Make sure we got the right price on screen. And if anything, are seeing some more movement. I'm showing the Islanders. Looks like they're actually taking some steam here right now. I'm showing it Bovada at 320. Circa always playing it kind of conservative with the favorites. They're up to 280. Looks like the consensus line is at least $3 now on this one. The line continues to move on the Islanders, right? So their parlay pieces, whatever, everybody's piling on, it seems like, on the Islanders. Total here, 620 or so in this one. You got two teams that they've been pretty much having some unders in some of these spots, but I will note that the Sharks are 3-9 to the under on the road, and the Islanders, as a favorite, have been going under quite a bit. They haven't been favored in believe it or not, in 2 minutes, they've been a pretty terrific dog. Let me see what their yeah, Islanders. So we know the Sharks problem. They're now 2-10 as a puck line dog on the road, but Islanders are 2-9 as a puck line favorite at home. So I don't want to trust, you know, even trust the Islanders to necessarily get a puck line here against these guys. So, and if the total is going to be 6 here, and I've seen it kind of bouncing all over the place and as low as 5.5. Oh, give me the Sharks. I'll just take the Sharks. Even money, puck line, I'll try them. I'm going to take the Sharks, you guys. Rodney goes under. All right, Salty. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's not a great game. Let's just get a play out there and move on. Here with the Red Wings taking on the Sabres. Not a great game, or is it? Well, close, nice game here with the Red Wings on the road. Going to be favored in this one, minus $1.30, total 6.5 over 20 with Lyon and Luukkonen in goal. And well, for me, look, the Red Wings obviously playing pretty well. Buffalo's coming back to the pack a little bit too. These numbers aren't terrible at this point for Buffalo. They are, not great as a dog, so that has to be a little bit concerning. They've been a dog in a lot of games this season. Interestingly, I believe they're 5-0 as a favorite, and 5-13 straight up as an underdog here. Detroit 6-2-2 in their last 10 games. They're 13-7 overall. Buffalo 10 and let me get the complete record here. 13-7-3 for Detroit. 10-13-2 for Buffalo. So I don't know. The line might be going up just a little bit too high for my liking, even for Detroit here. I might want to prefer Buffalo. I'm going to take them. I'm going to take them on the money line. Red Wings, nothing too special necessarily on the road, right? I think they're probably doing most of their good work at home. They are 5-4-1 on the road. Yeah, Detroit. They have won 2 straight, beating Montreal and Chicago. But they were a pretty big favorite over Montreal too, and the Canadians got the puck line. I think we were on the Canadians in that one a few nights ago on that puck line, if I'm not mistaken. But for Buffalo at home, they're 5-6. They're on a losing streak right now. They've lost to Nashville, Carolina, and St. Louis here. So give me a little bit of the do factor and a little bit of plus money. I'm going to take Buffalo. I'm going to take Buffalo tonight. In this one. As far as the total, look, I know the Sharps. I think there was a move actually. Let me see, because I know they prefer the under. Wasn't totally, but there has been steam to the under here. Let me see if that 6.5 over 25 is actually, yeah. Well, let's call it 6.5 over 20. And I don't know. I probably maybe could even get premium in this one. I was thinking under because look, Detroit. I mean, sorry, Buffalo at home this season, 2-9 to the under thus far. Detroit's been mostly an over team, but over the last several games, they've started to slow down in the score. In the at least games been going under here. Total's gone under in 7 of the last 8 Buffalo games at home in that little stretch. Detroit's been going over on the road, but some of the home games of late have been going under. All right, give me the Sabres here at a little bit of plus money. Preds on the road at the Blackhawks. Okay, pretty big favorite here, but might be worthy of such favoritism. In fact, I'm showing $1.80, $1.85 now at some books, and this total certainly has been dropping. I would think you might be seeing. No, I think you're going to see for the most part 6.5 under 25. I am showing Bovada right now 6.5 over. and I'm feeling the under. So let me at least kind of move it to the lowest price because I think I'm thinking possibly this is going to end up being an under game. Whether or not it's an under play, I'm not sure. Because to me, it might be worthy of a shot, even on the Predators as a favorite here against Chicago. And just a price where I'm probably not willing to go premium, but maybe Nashville is the side in this one. I'm probably not even going to want to feel comfortable giving it out at a dollar, especially if it's $1.80 or $1.85 right now. I was leaning towards Nashville at a big price, given Chicago right now, and they're back to certainly struggling here a little bit with their 7 victories, and you look at what they've been up to of late, losing 3 goals by margin here for sure of late, only scoring 1 goal per game in each of the last 3 games. So probably feels like a pretty strong under to me at this point. And at that reduced price, where you're probably not going to get the best price already, I'm probably just going to go under here on the show. The Predators are 2-6 to the under as a favorite, and that's a team that has been playing to some overs of late for sure, but I think as a road favorite and the Blackhawks not scoring goals, maybe even at home where maybe they should be able to get another, certainly another goal out of it, maybe 2 today, the way they're going here. But I think I'm just going to end up on the under in this game. Nashville already won the first meeting between these two at Nashville 4-2. That was almost 3 weeks ago right now. So maybe they won't get it by margin here. And I'm just going to end up on the under. Chicago's been definitely going under of late, gone under in 7 of their last 10 games, and they've also gone under in uh, all of 14 of their 23 games so far this season. And this series has gone under in 4 of the last 5 times they've met in Chicago. So, and also, talk about Blackhawks are having some puck line issues, and like I said, they've been an underdog every time. So, not only are they, they're 10 and 13 on the puck line, right? And they've been the underdog. I don't think they've been favored yet, right? 23 games, 10 and 13. No. All right, take the under in that one. Here's the Ducks and the Avalanche in another lopsided game. So we'll just kind of whip through this one, I guess, with Colorado, a 330 favorite here over the Ducks. Doesn't feel right. I mean, considering the Ducks have done an okay job this year, but they've been coming back to the pack. We're seeing their true colors a little bit. They still got 10 wins on the season though here. So I don't know why couldn't they hang in here with these guys at least by a puck line. I don't know, but they'll probably smash them. I would imagine Colorado will actually win and cover a puck line. I don't know if I can give it out here, but it does feel like they can smash them. Actually, the spot to me feels like maybe the price is high and I can't give it out as a premium play because I don't know. You could break down an handicapper leaderboard 2.0 and look at my hockey puck lines and see why I get mad when I lay those puck lines and ruining my good record every time. It seems like maybe it's just a dumb luck, but not going to do it as a premium pick. But I might do it right here on the show and take Colorado minus a goal and a half. Yeah, I've been on the Ducks a little bit so far this season, and they've done a nice job sometimes on the puck line. On the road, 6-4 on the puck line, but Colorado at home, 8-2 on the puck line, and they're favored on the puck line. So let's take them here and let's lay the price. Actually, it is minus $1.20 or so now, right? $1.25 because of this increase in price. Maybe they're just pouring in on these favorites tonight, Islanders and Avalanche. So I'm just going to lay the puck line. Did the comments stop, you guys? Hopefully, YouTube's not down, or maybe you guys just don't have any hockey spots. But got 3 dozen of you in here, and my handicappers have disappeared. So we're going to go with my picks here on the next couple of games. It looks like with the Wild and the Flames. In this one, you've got Minnesota here. Whoops, where's the graphic? Yeah, Minnesota here on the road, $1.15 for the most part. Looks like the total 6 over 20, 6 over 25 with these two teams. So Minnesota road favorite, kind of interesting because they haven't been great on the, we know they had some issues. Obviously, they've had some changes, some big changes, but Minnesota has been, uh, I don't know, other than any team named the San Jose Sharks, and I think they're even worse than Edmonton on the road. They're down 5 and 5 1/3 units so far this season. Is Minnesota on the road? They have just a 3-6-2 record on the road thus far, and uh, like I said, down 5 and 5 1/3 units. One of the worst road teams so as far as profitability is concerned. Now they have won 3 in a row, so they've turned it around with the coaching change. They beat Chicago, they beat Nashville, they beat St. Louis, doing a real good job all of a sudden, and they've got a little bit of momentum. So maybe you want to just throw out some of the numbers there. Maybe things have turned it around a little bit here of late. They're going up against a Calgary team that, at home, they've kind of put things back together. They're 5-4-1 now at home. And if anything, out of the other teams, right, we know Vegas, we know LA, and we know Vancouver because of that hot start. And the rest of the Pacific Division has been kind of trying to figure out. But all of a sudden, Calgary's kind of worked their way to the top of that a little bit. Seattle, they've been, such a disappointment for bettors right now, and they're on a losing streak. So Calgary is kind of that team that's kind of creeping back up here a little bit. But this Minnesota winning streak does feel a little bit positive as far as the momentum to me is concerned here. I would imagine that they come out, and there might be some goals scored in this one tonight, especially considering these two teams. You have Calgary's gone over in 15 of 24 this year, including 7 of 10 games at home. Minnesota is definitely having some overs of late as well, and they've gone 11-8-1 to the over so far this season. We'll note that the total has gone under in 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams. So, all right. And let's see here. Okay. Yeah, you guys, no problem. You guys don't have to comment if you're not in there. I just was making sure it wasn't working. Rays on the Flames. And, yeah, I might be a little bit contrarian here. I don't know, but I'm going to end up on Minnesota in this one. Well, I don't know. They're the favorite. Like I said, 3-game winning streak looking pretty good. And like I said, also right now for Calgary, look, it's been some good momentum here. This one's tough, man. Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna take Minnesota in this one. And man, I like that. I do like the over here. Probably gonna might be a premium. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, let's take a look. One last one, then we're out of here. Thank you so much for joining me here today on the Morning's Team. And we're going to talk about this one with the Devils and the whoa, the Devils are playing the Canucks. Look at that total. 6.5 over 35. Is that it's not 7? Not 7 somewhere? Okay, it is a DraftKings 7 under 30. I'll put it up there at least to 7 under 30. Maybe we'll even make it a little higher because of maybe the line will move. maybe the Sharps are going to keep this one down. It seems like they're still going to want to bet it down. And maybe that only provides the opportunity for us squares out there to go ahead and, you know, crush them on the over in this one, right? Look, I do want to respect the Sharps. I mean, they are clearly on the under here. And look, I'm just a guy in a YouTube box thinks he knows who the Sharps are on. I'm pretty sure the Sharps are loving the under in this game because anytime that 7 pops up, they're going to hit it. They don't care. They don't watch the games. They're like, uh, uh, Joe Handicapper over there, set it and forget it, and we're just going to take 7 every time. I'm talking about the Sharps now, not necessarily the Cappers, but not for me, man. Come on, these two teams right now, they're really going to just end up. Okay, maybe it'll. You know what's going to happen is the game's going to end up 3-3 in regulation. Let's do another 4-3 exact score line. I don't know who's going to win though. That's the problem in this one in this game. I'm definitely rating this game nearly a toss-up. I want to take the Devils here, but I don't know necessarily on the road if I can do it. Feels like a solid. In fact, I don't even know if I want to give out the over right now because of I feel so strongly about it. It just feels like there's nothing these teams can do. They can try to focus defensively and slow these teams down right now, but in this type of matchup, it just does not seem like it can go under to me. It feels like an 8 or 9 goal game, doesn't it? The Devils have gone over in 17 of 22 games this season. Vancouver has gone over in 15 of their 25 games so far this season. And New Jersey, 7-3 to the over on the road. Also, the total has gone over in 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams. So, man, I just feel like this one's going to be an over, even though the Sharps, a widely reported steam is on the under. Uh, I'm just judging whether it's the eye test or some of these stats or the fact that you have, certainly a New Jersey team that I don't know they're top 5 in goals. I know that they're uh, uh, going up against a Vancouver team that's also top 5, top 2 or 3 in goals so far this season. Last I checked. And Ray says, lean the Devils in this one. Panger's going over. Ray's going over. Okay. All right. So I'm not crazy. Again, I don't know necessarily. I mean, I watch some of the videos. I love the 2 guys across the street. Man, I watch those guys every night. And, I see what they're saying about the games too. But, I don't necessarily always, I kind of rely on the markets and the Sharps are on the under. Their Sharps are clearly on the under here. They usually can sway me in a situation like this, but I just don't know if they can right now. And yeah, 7 under 30, whatever. So, all right, I guess I should go over in this one, even though I want to save it for a premium. No, I'm gonna like I want to whether or not I give it out or not, all you guys are going to get it for free. It feels like for me right now, just because mostly because I can't decide on, trying to convince myself that I want to take Vancouver tonight at home again. Because look, Vancouver at home so far, they're 8-2-1, one of the best home teams. I think they are the best home team. I think Colorado also is up there. Rangers has been, Carolina has been strong, Boston has been strong, but Vancouver right now is certainly up there at home as far as one of the best teams, so far in the league. And New Jersey, they've been okay, 6-4 on the road so far, but this Vancouver home ice has been real solid. All right, give me Vancouver in this one. I'll take the Canucks here tonight. All right, that's going to do it for the show. Had to talk myself off that over because I gave out too much excitement. And again, maybe you guys are feeling like, hey, it's a lot of 7s out there. Maybe you guys go under 7 every time. All right. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Be back tomorrow with more Morning Steam, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Don't forget, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code Tony T at checkout. Save 20% off all premium pick packages. Click on the All Cappers tab. That's your man right there, Ramon Scott. You can ride with me for a week. It says $149. That's a lot of money, man. Wow. How am I supposed to uh, produce at that? That's not a lot of money, you guys. That's going to help me get on this show every week. Take 20% off. I only get a commission. Oh, we got a channel to run here. We got the YouTube channel. We got this website. We've got people, who help with the video production of it. It's not just, uh, a one person operation here with Tony. I mean, he's got a general manager, he's got all these cappers. So all you're doing is supporting me, and you're going to get my plays here for the next 7 days if you use this weekly All Sports Pass. Purchase it after 3 p.m. Eastern today and noon Pacific, and you can actually get 8 days worth of coverage all the way through next week's Monday Night Football and Tuesday night's action just by subscribing later. I always try to have my plays in by noon Pacific time. So if you get them later today, so you get today's plays, and then again, because I get them in before noon, and you're guaranteed to see those because you purchased it after, you're going to have that little window there. The closer you purchase it to later, the more opportunity of window you'll have. For example, if I get them in at 11 Pacific and you purchase it right at noon Pacific, you'd have to make sure you get on for that 1 hour. It's actually right on with a clock. So just know that when you buy the weekly All Sports Pass, it will expire exactly 7 days to the moment that you subscribe. So just subscribe later in the afternoon here before the game start. And because I usually get the plays in, my bulk of my premium plays, 3, 4, 5 hours before the game starts, you'll get an eighth day of action there. So look at it as if you're with me. You know, with me there for the fee for the day, $15, $20, whatever it is, and you get all my plays for the week. Yesterday 5 plays, day before 8, day before that 9, I believe it was whatever it was. I mean, you're going to get probably between 50 and 75 plays, more towards the 75, I would say here, in 8 days with me in some of the biggest sports. So please consider that, and you're supporting me and everybody here at the channel. All right. That's going to do it. Appreciate you. We'll catch you all tomorrow with more morning steam for Tony'sPicks.com. I'm Ramon Scott.